There's something so satisfying about watching your carefully crafted systems come to life. You start with just a few simple machines. Before you know it, you've built a sprawling factory. And that's why we all love automation games. Hello and welcome to GameGen. Today we're checking out some awesome upcoming automation games. So, without further ado, let's dive into the video. First up, ShapeHero Factory. ShapeHero Factory is a fun and creative game from the Japanese studio Asobism, set to launch in early 2024. It blends factory simulation, roguelite elements, and tower defense into one unique experience. In this game, you're running a fantasy factory where you combine simple shapes, like circles, triangles, and squares, to create heroes. For example, mix a circle and triangle to make a soldier, and toss in a square to give them a shield. These heroes automatically battle waves of enemies, so your job is to keep the factory running smoothly and come up with cool combinations. Every playthrough changes things up, from the equipment in your factory to the recipes you use to build heroes. The tech tree also shifts each time, so you'll need to adjust your strategy based on what resources and options you've got. Industrial Annihilation. Industrial Annihilation is shaping up to be an exciting sequel to Planetary Annihilation, and it's blending the thrill of real-time strategy combat with factory building mechanics. The team behind it is currently wrapping up their funding phase and is looking to roll out early access sometime this spring. What's super cool about Industrial Annihilation is how it brings together the best of both worlds. You get to dive into the nitty-gritty of building up your base while also gearing up for some intense battles against other players or AI. It's a blend of strategy and creativity that should appeal to fans of both genres. If you're intrigued, you're in luck. The game has already hit its Kickstarter funding goal, which means there's plenty of interest and backing behind it. Dawn Apart. Dawn Apart is an exciting upcoming game that mixes space colony vibes with automation and resource management. Players will get to explore the distant planet Aurora, where the goal is to mine a rare mineral and build a lively settlement. The cool part, the environments are fully destructible, so you can terraform Aurora and create awesome vertical factory complexes to ramp up your production. Dawn Apart takes inspiration from popular games like Factorio and RimWorld, so you'll have the chance to automate your operations and streamline your resource gathering. But it's not all about building. You'll also need to defend your colony from hostile natives or even rebel against a shady mining corporation. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. Alright, back to the video. Tower Factory. Tower Factory is a fun mix of tower defense, automation, and roguelike gameplay. In this game, you'll be working on optimizing your resource production with conveyor systems while fending off waves of pesky monsters. Your main goal? Find and destroy the enemy tower before time runs out. You'll gather resources like wood and stone to build and upgrade your defenses, setting up factories to automate collecting and processing materials. As you build your factories, you'll also need to create defensive towers to keep those enemies at bay. So smart tower placement is key to handling the waves of attackers. Plus, with each playthrough offering different challenges and opportunities, you'll never get bored. Snacktorio. Snacktorio is a charming and colorful factory building game where players create delicious snacks and desserts in a whimsical world. Unlike some of the more serious automation games, it has a really casual vibe that makes it a joy to play. You'll be designing and running your own snack factories, starting from growing ingredients all the way up to packaging your delicious creations. You can make all sorts of goodies like cookies, ice cream, and candy. As you play, you'll unlock new recipes and ingredients, plus factory upgrades, which means you can get really creative with your snack making. With its bright and playful atmosphere, Snacktorio is perfect for anyone looking to enjoy a lighthearted factory building adventure. Complex Sky. Complex Sky is a city and factory building game made by a solo developer, Momo Sandeas. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where pollution has taken over, and your job is to build a self-sustainable city in the sky. What's really fun about this game is the way you can build, upward and even upside down. It adds a unique twist to the whole city building vibe. You'll need to juggle resource management and keep an eye on pollution while making sure your city grows sustainably. There are over 60 technologies to unlock, letting you develop new buildings and evolve different population types as you play. The visuals are low poly and super chill, paired with a relaxing soundtrack that makes for an even more laid-back experience. Orebound. Orebound is an exciting upcoming game that mixes exploration, combat, and factory automation in a fun dwarven-themed world. In this voxel-based first-person adventure, you'll dive into vast underground caves, mining for resources while building factories to automate your item production. But watch out, you'll also face off against all sorts of fantasy creatures like orcs and goblins. The main focus here is on setting up factories and automating the mining process. You can create conveyor belts to move ores between mining factories, but fair warning, some players find the initial setup a bit tricky and might prefer the good old-fashioned method of mining manually. As you explore, you'll need to be ready for combat, using your weapons to take down enemies that pop up while you're mining. Factorio Space Age. Factorio's Space Age expansion is dropping on October 21st, 2024, and it's going to be even bigger than expected. Originally, we were told that there'd be 4 new planets, but now there's a surprise 5th planet, a mysterious, cold and dark one that's furthest from the sun. Each planet will have its own unique resources, challenges, and gameplay twists to keep things fresh. You'll also get to build space platforms, basically flying factories, and new elevated rails for even more complex logistics. And yup, new enemies and defenses are coming too, so things are about to get a little more intense. On top of that, there's a free 2.0 update for all players, bringing smarter robots, new rails, and remote view, and some cool upgrades to the fluid system. Exciting times ahead for Factorio fans. Microtopia. Microtopia is a strategy game where you run a robotic ant colony as its hive mind. You start by placing a queen ant to grow your colony, and as she produces larvae, you'll turn them into worker ants through incubators. Your ants will go out to gather resources like iron and scrap, and you can set up pheromone trails to automate their paths, making things run smoother. Plus, you can upgrade your worker ants by combining smaller ones into stronger, more efficient versions that get the job done even faster. As your colony grows, you can explore new areas, gather more resources, and face different challenges. The maps change with every playthrough, so things stay fresh and exciting each time you play. It's all about growing your colony, managing resources, and exploring new territory to keep things thriving. AutoForge. AutoForge is a 2D sandbox game where you play as Otto, a golem left behind, and your job is to build a huge, mana-powered factory. You'll be gathering resources, crafting items, and setting up cool automation systems to keep everything running smoothly. As you explore the world, you'll unlock new areas with both opportunities and challenges, including some pesky creatures that try to mess with your factory. As you level up, you can unlock ancient tech to make your factory even more efficient. But it's not all just building. You'll need to defend your creations from enemies too, which adds a bit of strategy into the mix. With its charming pixel art and playful vibe, AutoForge offers a laid-back blend of factory building, exploration, and combat. Starbirds. Starbirds is an upcoming space-based building game that blends the cozy vibes of Dorfromantik with the science fun of Kursakat's YouTube channel. Visually, it has a cute and colorful style, using the clean, bright graphics that Kursakat is known for. You'll get to build bases on toy-like asteroids, much like the rotating worlds. As you explore, you'll discover hidden resources, set up mining and production facilities, research new tech, and help the quirky birds with their quests from their space station. The game is packed with fun features like procedurally generated asteroids, a 360-degree building system to maximize each rock's limited space, plus there are roguelite elements to keep the replayability high. Expected to land in 2025. StarRupture. StarRupture is shaping up to be an awesome mix of base building, exploration, and combat with a sci-fi twist. Set on this dangerous, resource-rich planet orbiting the star Ruptura, you're not just fighting off enemies, you're also racing against some pretty brutal natural disasters, like a massive fire wave threatening to fry everything in its path. The game gives you a huge open world to explore, with shifting environments that keep things interesting. You'll be gathering resources, setting up your industrial base, and defending it against waves of enemies. Whether you are flying solo or teaming up with friends, there's plenty to keep you busy. Lifecraft. Lifecraft is a survival and automation game that puts you in control of a tiny cell in a biological world. You start off gathering resources from a primordial soup to survive, evolve, and grow into more complex life forms. At first, you're just a basic cell, but as you collect resources, you can unlock new abilities through an evolution tree. It's all about progressing from simple life to something more advanced. The cool part is how the game mimics real biological processes, like chemical reactions inside of cells. You can build things like catalyzers, which help speed up these reactions, just like enzymes in real life. There's also a new adventure mode in development where you can control a character and go beyond survival. Plus, upcoming updates will add more ways to customize your little creature. Odsparks, an automation adventure. Odsparks, an automation adventure, is a cute automation game that blends real-time strategy with a whimsical fantasy vibe. You can play solo or team up with online friends. You get to explore a charming world, build cool workshops, and automate everything with the help of adorable little characters called Sparks. Instead of using conveyor belts like in other automation games, you'll manage how Sparks move around to keep everything running smoothly. You'll wander through randomly generated worlds filled with enemies like Spunnies and Bellephants, while collecting both magical and everyday resources to help level up your workshop and grow your village. You'll customize your character and take on quests from villagers to unlock new buildings. There are fun interactions with Sparks too, you can even pet them. The game is friendly for everyone, with options to adjust controls for different setups. Shapez 2. Shapez 2 is a super relaxing, abstract factory building game that really nails the automation vibe. The whole point is to build production lines to feed shapes into a giant vortex, and it's unsurprisingly satisfying. There's no stress about resources or enemies, just pure, uninterrupted building. You start with basic shapes like circles and squares and gradually work your way up by slicing, rotating, and combining them into more intricate designs. It's one of those games that pulls you in with its smooth mechanics and rewarding loop of constant improvement. It's laid back, satisfying, and the perfect game to get lost in when you just want to focus on building something cool. Plus, it's still in early access, so there's plenty of room for more complexity as it evolves. Alright everyone, that wraps up our look at some upcoming titles from 2024. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to leave a comment below if any of these games caught your eye, or if there are other upcoming releases you'd like to hear about. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more gaming content in the future. Thanks for watching.